So I had an order to make a small backdrop for one of my clients for her 50th birthday, and I decided, hey, why not walk my viewers through the making of this beautiful balloon garland. So I hope you enjoy this video. Hi people, welcome to my vlog. My name is Susan. This is where I share all things life, craft, DIY, behind the scene of my recipe page, you just name it. So today I'll be making use of this size 12 balloon, and also making use of size 5 balloon in white and a modeling balloon or a two-sister balloon. Then this mountain hook. I placed this mountain hook actually on my client's wall 24 hours before the day. I just placed it on the wall, applied some pressure for let's say 15 to 20 minutes, and left it there so that the next day it will be ready for me to use. Then I used a fishing line. I'll leave all the list in the description box beneath this video. Then a double-sided tape. You can also use glue dots. There's something we call glue dots, but this one is more in quantity. Then of course a manual tape. So these are all the items I used in this video. So let's get started. The first thing I did was to pour all my balloons on my work surface to make the work easier for me. Now I lost the actual clip of this first video, so I had to quickly get some cheap gold balloon. I got some cheap gold balloon, and I'm going to use that for this tutorial. So I inflated my balloon, my size 12 balloon, that is the gold balloon. I inflated it. Now when you inflate it, it's going to have this pear shape, this unprofessional shape. It's not looking round and lovely. So I'm going to place it on a flat surface. You can place it on against your tummy, but place it on a flat surface, and then I apply some pressure while I'm releasing some air to give me this round shape. The purpose of placing it on on a flat work surface is to apply some pressure. You apply some pressure while you're releasing some air to give it that round, beautiful, professional shape. That is how you get your round balloon. Please don't forget this. Any balloon you are inflating, any balloon you are inflating to get a round shape, you must place on a flat surface, either against your work surface or your tummy. Apply some pressure, release some air, then you pull the neck of the balloon and you tie it. It is that simple. I'm going to repeat that for all my balloons. Now I want to create what we call a cluster of two by just tying two necks of balloons together. That's what I mean by cluster of two. So you do this for all the balloons you want to use. And another thing I want to keep in mind is when making your balloon garland, it looks more professional, more beautiful when all the balloons are not having the same sizes. That is, inflate some big, inflate some small, like that. Big, small, big, small. Just mix the sizes. If you make all of them the same size, it's going to look off, it's going to look odd, and trust me, you don't want that. So you want to make it look big, small, big, small, big, small, something like that. So I'm just going to tie two balloons together to make a cluster of two. Then I'll bring two clusters of two. Please just watch the video. It's actually very simple. I'll bring two clusters of two together later on, and I'm going to twist the neck of one of the cluster of two with another neck of one of the cluster of two together to form a cluster of four. And this is just how simple to create clusters of balloons. So I'm going to do this also for the white balloon. Inflate it, place it on my work surface or against my tummy, release some air to get a round lovely shape, tie it. Do that for another one. Make sure the next one I'm doing is smaller a little than the first one I inflated. Then I'm going to bring two clusters of two together, twist one around each other, and to make a cluster of four. So this is what I did before the day. before the D-Day. I did that and I kept them in this waste bin, this black waste bin, one that has not been used before. I did that and kept them in the black waste bin. And the actual balloon I used for this particular project for the gold was chrome. Why chrome balloon? A chrome balloon. It gives a lovely look, a professional look to the balloon garland. You can also use latex. The white balloons are latex balloon. You can use a latex too. Latex balloons are a little bit cheaper compared to chrome balloons. Chrome balloons are way more expensive. Why this particular good balloon I'm using for this clip is very, very cheap. They are very cheap set of balloons. So I did that. Then once I was through with it, I went over and repeated the same for the white balloons. Now for the white balloons that are size 5, they are mostly used to fill up any space in your garland. Yes, in a balloon garland, the white balloons are mostly used to fill up any space in your garland. Now if you want to connect a cluster of 4 with another cluster of 4, you can either decide to use a 260 balloon. That is, the long balloon are called 260 balloons. You can either decide to use a 260 balloon or you can use a fishing line. If you're using a fishing line to connect, that is to tie a cluster of 4 with another cluster of 4, you have to be very careful so that you don't end up deflating your balloon. Yes, end up deflating your balloon. So, but fishing line are mostly used by people that are just learning how to create balloon garland. So now look at my size 5 balloon, the 5 inches white balloons. You can see that the sizes are different. Always remember that if you want to have a professional looking garland, you have to make sure your balloon sizes are not all looking the same thing. It gives them this natural, beautiful, professional look. Then I connected 2 clusters together just like I did for the gold, and I attached them together by twisting the neck of one of the clusters to another clusters. It is just very simple to make. Then once I was through, like I told you, you can decide to connect a cluster of 4 to another cluster of 4 by using a fishing line or by using a modeling balloon, that's a 260 balloon. Then the white balloons I used to create space, like I told you. I used to fill up space, rather, like I said. I used to fill up spaces in between your garland. If you see that there's a space left from the big balloons, you use the white balloons to fill it up. So you want to make sure you use your double-sided tape. To do this, I just cut my double-sided tape. You can also use what's called glue dots. I place it on the balloon. I'm just showing you how to create the garland. That I actually did on the D-Day. So I just placed it where I noticed there was a space. I placed my double-sided tape where I noticed there were spaces. Apply a little pressure, peel off the paper, and then place the white balloon there to fill up the space. And I repeated that till I was satisfied. So this is just how to create balloon garland. You keep doing that, keep adding clusters of 4 together to create the desired garland height and shape you want, and you keep move your balloons around to create the shape you want. So this is what I did before the D-Day. Yippee! So this is the D-Day. This is me just showing you that I've already placed my mountain hook a day to the D-Day, 24 hours to the D-Day. I set up a banner, a birthday banner, and then I went ahead to start arranging my balloon garland just the way I showed you in the previous clip. I'm arranging them together, adding clusters of 2. You can see out that this particular good balloon I'm using, they're looking like they have more quality than the first one I showed you in the first bit. These are chrome balloons. The other ones are very cheap balloons. I lost the clip to that. That's why I went to quickly get some cheap balloons to use. Now my son is the one helping me out to give me the balloons clusters. You can see that my balloons are not having the same sizes. They're looking they're having different sizes. This makes your garland look beautiful. So I'm attaching two clusters together by tying the neck of a cluster of four to another cluster of four. Just keep doing that. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can use a modeling balloon, that long balloon, that is the balloon. You can use that assisted balloon to connect clusters of four together. But for me, I feel adding the clusters with the balloon neck is easier, maybe because I've been doing it for a while. I'm making garlands and working with balloons for a while, so it's easier for me. You can also use fishing line like I told you, but if you're not very careful, it's going to bust your balloons. Yeah, it's going to bust the balloon. So once I was through the height I wanted, I think this was about 6 feet tall. This was about 6 feet tall. Once I was through the height I wanted, I then went ahead to arrange them nicely on the wall using the mounting clip as a guide. Now I used my fishing line to attach them to the wall, to attach the balloons to the wall, and it did not hold the balloons together. So I went ahead and took my modeling balloon, assisted balloon, and tied it against the mounting hook. So this was how I was able to hang the balloon garlands on the wall. So once I was through, I then went to fill up the garland with my small 5 inches white balloon, and these chrome balloons are 12 inches in size. So all those other spaces I went to fill them up with the white balloon. So this is how simple it is. I was very concerned about our wall. I didn't want to damage the wall, even when she told me it's actually fine. I can poke holes in the wall, but I was very concerned about that. So that was the reason why I went for mountain hook. So this is just one way to create garlands. This is just one way to create garlands. What I'm rolling around the balloons are fishing line. When the garlands were too long for me to keep on using modeling balloon, that is two sister balloon, I then went using fishing line to connect each clusters to one another. So then I hung that on the wall. This was about 6 inches tall, and this is how it all went down. Just did a little backdrop for her because I also baked a cake for her, so I did a little backdrop, and that was how I did this. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more ways to create garlands, to create balloon bouquet, balloon artwork, just watch this video to the end and subscribe. To all my new viewers, please subscribe so that you don't miss out, and turn that notification bell so that you don't miss out. For all my old subscribers, thank you so much for your support. I hope you found this very helpful. See you in subsequent videos. Bye bye.